In today's video, I'm going to talk about a couple very surprising things that doctors told me while I was going through withdrawal. You wouldn't believe these things, or maybe you would. Stay tuned, I think you'll enjoy the video.
So here's to life, and every joy it brings. So here's to life.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to The Lovely Grind. My name is Michael Preby, and my website's lovelygrind.com. That's where you're going to find information about my coaching, my Support and Success monthly membership area, my brand new Healing Mindset online course, and that's also where you can find all of my blog posts. So I hope you'll go to lovelygrind.com, check those things out, and I thank you for returning to this YouTube channel to check out another video. And I really think today's video is going to resonate with quite a few people because it involves the idea of either misinformation or a lack of understanding or even flat out gaslighting from doctors. When a person goes into a doctor or psychiatrist's office with true symptoms of prescription drug withdrawal. And not only is a lack of understanding emotionally and psychologically devastating when you're going through this situation of prescription drug withdrawal and looking for answers, but maybe even more dangerous, people continually get led down dead ends or detours then and never find a true solution to the problem. So that's what today's video is about, and I'm going to share some instances of misinformation and flat out gaslighting that was thrown in my face when I went to doctors during my prescription drug withdrawal from Paxil and Xanax. Now first, just to recap my story, I was put on Paxil, an SSRI antidepressant, and Xanax, a benzo medication, way back in 1999, heading into my senior year at college. I was going through panic attacks, scared, anxious about them, not understanding what was going on. But instead of dropping out of college, I kind of gave into the suggestion of, hey, why don't you try this Paxil and a little bit of Xanax on the side? And I continued taking those things for over a dozen years until, for various reasons, I said, hey, I've got to go in a different direction here because I think this path is really going to be the end of me if I don't. So I got off the Paxil, tapered the Xanax, went through a very difficult withdrawal, but I continued moving forward in a path of taking care of myself and giving it more time, and that led to me feeling better. So hopefully you all take hope from these videos, and hopefully from today's video, you find some reassurance that if you've heard some things from doctors that didn't seem to add up, it's not just you. You know, I only went to the doctor's office a handful of times during my whole withdrawal ordeal. And when I went to the prescribing doctor, he told me flat out, any Paxil withdrawal should have been minor, and it should have been over a long time ago. Well, there you have it. He said should have been minor and over a long time ago, but obviously neither of those things were true because I was in his office. I didn't want to be in his office, but I was in there because of something, because I was going through a lot of serious symptoms, but I didn't get any understanding and certainly no new information or guidance from him. So after that, I really was dejected about the idea of seeing doctors, but finally I worked up the courage as I was continuing with my Xanax taper, still going through Paxil withdrawal, worked up the courage to go see a different doctor. Same clinic that my insurance covered, so I went to the same clinic, but a different doctor. Presumably a colleague of this first doctor is probably someone he even knew. So I worked up the courage to go in there thinking, okay, I'm going to try to find a new path here. And, you know, maybe the prescribing doctor didn't want to say anything because he felt he was responsible somehow and whatever. Maybe I'll get understanding and some information from the second guy. Second appointment was worse. Not only did I get met with blank stares, he just couldn't understand why I was there. Thought I probably should have been in some institution somewhere with the things I was talking about. So not only was I met with a complete lack of understanding or empathy, but in this case, he flat out threw it back on me, gaslit me, tried to put seeds of doubt in my mind, trying to put the blame back on me, tried to make me question my own sanity and my own assessment of what I was going through. He said, what you're going through has got nothing to do with this withdrawal. It's because you drink beer. and because of stress. And those two things are creating these symptoms, these so-called symptoms in you. Okay, so apparently it had nothing to do with me getting off an SSRI after more than a dozen years. Nothing to do with the fact that I was halfway through tapering off 4 daily milligram prescription of Xanax. Clearly, these things could have been put together. And he could have at least said, well, there might be some sort of connection here. It wouldn't be far-fetched when you take these heavy chemical prescriptions away from your body and mind when they're accustomed to them. It wouldn't be far-fetched to think there's some symptoms. Let me look into it if I don't understand. That's not what he said. Put it back on me. So by the time I left that appointment, I wasn't just disappointed. Some of you know how it is when you're going through withdrawal. You're in such a vulnerable state, emotionally and psychologically. I wasn't just disappointed. I was dejected and scared. Shaken would be a good term. I was shaken by that visit. And eventually, I was angry about it, but more shaken. So I remember going through it and back and forth in my mind and talking to family members and so forth about it. And obviously, it was a terrible experience. And then I wrote a letter to this doctor at the clinic, but I never ended up sending it, right? Because at the time, I just wasn't in a place where I felt strong enough to do that. Maybe I should go back and send it. Maybe I still will. Who knows? But the point of the matter is, eventually it was just a footnote in my story and in the bigger picture. But a lot of times, people take this misinformation or thoughtless comments from a doctor like, well, it's just your anxiety coming back, just your depression coming back. You need to be on these things. Or it's they just throw it back at you in that manner. And they take these things and they think, oh, well, I guess he's right. It just is me. I am just broken. What was I even thinking? Right? Those seeds of doubt have been sown. And then you say, okay, doc, what should I do now? And the same person that didn't understand the situation or care to even look at it then thoughtlessly suggests another avenue to take that leads somewhere and probably not to a good place for a lot of people. So my point here is that not only in my own situation, but in many people I talk to in coaching, I hear over and over just thoughtless comments, careless suggestions, and flat out misinformation from a lot of doctors, even in this day and age. I also hear instances where there's more understanding from doctors. So I'm not saying they're all bad and people are learning, but there's still plenty of it out there from doctors and psychiatrists where they just are not even willing to entertain the possibility of the havoc that these medications might wreak, or entertain the possibility of, listen, we better learn how to deal with this thing called withdrawal and how to counsel and guide people through it. But then again, why would they? Because a lot of the times they're the people prescribing the things that cause it. So I don't mean to sound cynical in this video, because you all know I try to be a very positive person. Ultimately, I am. But this topic makes me angry because these people ought to know better, and they ought to be more careful and considerate and thoughtful with their approach to caring not only for the physical state of a person, but the overall wellness picture of the people who come into their offices. So don't be disappointed, dejected if you've heard some of these things from doctors. Don't think it's just you. And ultimately, don't let such things stop you from moving forward. Don't let them dictate your path or condemn you to some other version of reality other than the one that you're experiencing. Talk to people about it. Find support about it. Say, hey, listen, I heard this crazy thing from a doctor. You think this is right? Talk to a supportive family member or counselor or whatever it is, and then move forward with caring for yourself. Don't let these people dissuade you or be a hindrance to you moving forward and taking good care of yourself. You do that and you stay determined, you're going to find healing, you're going to find better wellness, and I hope that brings a lot of hope to people out there. So I hope you can relate to this video, some of you. I hope you enjoyed it for entertainment purposes, others of you at least. If you like these videos, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell to get notified every time I put out a new video. Go over on to lovelygrind.com, check out my blog posts or information about my coaching if you'd like to. And until next time, my name is Michael Preby. Please remember to take care of yourself and your dreams.